Hi everyone. Progressed some, almost got the rear of the car, and I started on the front of the car. Need to work to the middle. Anyway, started making the front axle and put the rivets on the side for the motor and cross members. I got some bolts to put on and some. The frame is half primed. I primed it to where I could still glue to it, so I didn't do the front part very much. I just wanted to see how the rivets looked. Right now, I am flattening, trying to. It looks like I did it. Some wire to make the Ubolts for the rear springs. That's what I'm doing. The funny thing about this car, and I don't know if there is no clear thing on the plan, but the center of things show that the rear axle is forward of center of the spring. And that is weird, but anyway, that's the way it's coming out. If it's wrong, prove it, because I can't. This is how I'm bending them, using that little piece of 60 thousandths with 20 thousandths on it, just to get them bent. Here I'm trying to straighten them up to where they're square, or as square as we're going to get. Then I thought, now I got to cut them the right height. Then I had a harebrained idea that the hair actually worked. Because I know it's going to be too long. They actually bolt to the top flange of the axle. And underneath I got to put 4 bolts on each side. Haven't done that yet. Got to make them. So I'm cutting a slit to slide the U-bolts into on this plastic. This is just a piece of scrap. Notice that's my I used it on the weathering of the chain and sprocket. That's the oil that was slung. Anyway, cutting a little deeper is I don't want nothing to goof around. This was actually easier than I thought. The rivets on the side were a pain. So all you do is just set one in there, pick it up 5 times, slide your end nippers in there straight, right in it, and it cuts them all off same length. That one there I noticed was a bit wonky. Taking all the little pieces, throwing it in my trash can. No, I'm not throwing it on the floor. I'm using this wax stick thing to stick them on. Oh, it looks like it's going good, don't it? Yeah. The super glue that I used just to hold them on, as soon as I touch it with super glue, they went nuts. They folded in on each other. I'm just cleaning the tip because I don't want a mountain of it on there. See? It's already sticking. I'm like, what? I got the slow stuff. What's going on? Got one in. So the other side, when I do that, I am thought I'll put super glue down first. Didn't make a bit of difference. It's still like reacted with the steel, using the steel wire, and I did sand it, so I wanted to make sure there was no oil on it. I think they came off a tag bundle, like where they got wire tags on, like for, well, where I used to work. They'd throw a whole pile of them away. I pulled the papers off and kept the wires because they're nice and thin, and they're steel, not magnetic. Oh man, I don't even get in it. Sorry it's a bit, but my hand's doing it. Out of focus. But I think you're getting the gist of it. I wanted you guys to at least see something that I'm doing, but I guess that ain't happening. Had to get a new wax thing on it. It's actually just sticky, it ain't wax. My wife gave them to me, and I find out that they work real well on certain things. That one was a little long. Must not have been straight. Also found out that other leaf spring was just a smidge wide on the bottom, so it goofed me up a little. You know, me touching it, you think I'd glue it to my hands, but I didn't. There we go. That's done. Now, I'm tracing out the front axle on the German car. Everything looks the same except for how the axle's made. When I finish the axle, which I'm going to start on here, I'll show you the difference between the one in the Mercedes Museum and the one in the United States. Why they changed the front axle, the angles and everything looks the same, but the how the axle's made is totally different. I don't know if they're trying to lighten it or what, because it's, the American one is definitely weird. The how they did the structure on it, that's what I mean by weird. Wish I had somebody I could ask, like, because they, this is going to sound funny, I'll show you guys close-up photos of the new one that was the earlier one in early 1914 and all that. The American ones was taped, like, to keep dirt off the axle. Must have added weight. I don't know why they did it, unless they thought it was down in the breeze and they thought that'd help aerodynamically. I have no idea, but you can plainly see on the colored new one where they used like PVC tape to cover it, and I know they didn't have PVC back then, so I'm wondering, did they use electrician's tape and paint it, because you can see it's the same color, or did they wrap it in aircraft fabric and dope it down, use some sticky dope and get it down, then paint it? I don't know, have no idea, nobody to ask, and if I did ask somebody, they probably wouldn't know. I have a lot of straightening up of this here, because stupidly, when I print it, I'm out of ink on my printer, and stupidly I didn't print the front view to where I could just cut it out and used it. Or I should say, not thinking ahead. So I had to really look at, I'm taking off the glue, sticky glue and the double back tape. For some reason I wanted to stay there a long time. Checking the width, because I know I got to make it wider. So I'm using some Plastistruck glue and gluing it down. So while that's drying, I'm going to try polishing these bolts I bought for the front of the car. They're a little too tall, I have to shave them down. As you can see, they're rather dull looking. It didn't take long for them to shine them up. I think they'll work. So I did 4 of them real quick. Same I had to do with the radiator and any other brass part I did. That's why it's black. Sounds like Panzer needs in, honey. Doesn't look too shiny there, but man, I gotta cut the top or grind the top down finer, because it's the bolt to hold the tire on isn't that big. Hey, be quiet.
Let's go get a treat.
We lost our other dog again. Our new dog died. We were told she was 7 years old. Turns out she was 14. Well, she died just when I was I take care of her because I'm the only one home all day. Took care of her, and I found out she was deaf. And when I found that out, it explained everything. But she's gone. She's laying beside Raptor, our other dog we lost. So no more pets. Goldfish. I don't cry when they die. See, Pete, I have a leather punch tool. They come in handy. I've been using them for decades on models. I even searched out and got a real thin one. It really goes down really thin. Yeah, I got it at Hobby Lobby. You can tell it. Oh, it does. It has blue handles. I thought it had pink. Those clips with pink on it that my wife bought them for me. I got like 50 of them. That pincher clamp. They really work well. And anytime I find an open gap, I just hit it again. I could have used the other one, but this dries quicker, and I didn't want to take all day. Because basically I did this all last night. I'm scraping it flat, and when I find an open thing, I'll re-hit it with glue. I'm trying to match up both sides now, since one is correct. The thinnest one is correct, and I'm I can hear you.
What?
My wife, you can't hear that, can you? Gee, I'm not deaf, and they aren't. So I'm using 30,000's card. That ain't right. Oh, I'm getting ready. I'm putting together a bunch of stuff in my noodle here on how to address the front axle. So I cut some strips, and I stretched some sprue. And the stuff wasn't dry yet, so I thought I would just keep flipping stuff around like this. Ain't it interesting? Yeah, the same blue stripes. Ain't that cool? So I was trying to make up my mind here how to do this, and today I finally figured out in my mind how to do this. So I guess I should have cut about 15 minutes of this off here. There we go. What I was doing was looking for something, and I forgot. I thought I shut the camera off, and I didn't. I had a lot of those events, but this one I missed. Like now. I should be getting ready to do the rivets, so I'm lining it up. I'm just marking where the rivets are, putting dots, and I even put where the bolts are. And the plan doesn't show the motor mount ones, but I happen to see an angle. There are 3 rivets that's holding on some sort of bracket on the back side. I'm not at the motor yet, so I ain't worried about it. So I'm going to cut it out with those hedge trimmers I call scissors. I'm just poking holes in the paper. I think I already got my drill bit selected, and that was the start of the fun. Because the one I had, the rivet, the needle shaft, I could have measured it, but hey, I got a micrometer, 2 of them, one for reloading, the other one for car, right next to me. Didn't grab it, dummy. Anyway, the shaft of the needles that I used was a little bit bigger than anything I had in my micro things. So I thought, oh, I should be able to get that, you know. There was trouble putting a needle in there with the head on it as a rivet, cut short. I can get a needle in there by pushing on it. And so I went and grabbed this needle, drill bit, and I finding out my new one won't hold that, so I have to go to my old one, hand drill, and that one I knew would do it because it's just in between the sizes. Right now I'm counting out how many. I need 14. Yes, they are a pain. So I started thinking, I'll trim that little flange off the end, that mold mark. These are Chinese pins, because if these are made in the United States, it'd be stainless steel. I would have wrecked my snips. These things popped like nobody. You can bend them. You never bend straight pins that I know of. At least I don't. And these are my old snips too, so don't have a cow. Not that they're expensive. There we go, got them all done. Then I had another fight on my hands. My Indonesian-made tweezers are stainless, but they're low grade. And the other thing, if they were stainless, it wouldn't grip. So there I'm trying to, I could get one to go in, the other ones wouldn't. So I don't know why. So I don't know why the camera did that, went to the small thing. That makes me mad. I can't get it to go back. I'm sorry. But I got a rivet on there. Pressed it in. Believe me, it's looking like it's going better than it is. Believe me, when I haven't drilled them out to the proper size yet. There, I'm done. I shut it off. You guys ain't gonna watch this, so I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a like. Any questions, please ask. Thank you for watching. Bye.